It's been a while since my last video. I've been busy. This is about week 2 of my fun employment, I guess. So I left my prior job. Don't worry, I wasn't fired or anything. And this is the second week that I've been early retired, I guess. So what happened? You may have seen in one of my videos I mentioned I work for the government, but I wouldn't say where. So I'm a very ethical person, and I did get permission from our ethics department to do these videos, mostly for myself. But I was told that if I ever mentioned the name of the agency, I'd have to give the standard disclaimer about, my opinions are not that of the agency or the commission, yada yada. So I avoided saying what agency it was because I didn't want to do that in every video. And, I was told that if this ever got large enough to be monetized, that I couldn't sell certain kind of ads. And, I told them, well, I have no intention of monetizing this. It's just for myself. And, I wouldn't give my name or the name of the agency, and they were fine with it. So I had been there quite a while, over 20 years. And it turns out this year the agency had too many people compared to their budget and how many people they're supposed to have. So they offered an option for early retirement if you've been there for 20 years. And I had been there for 20 years, and I had planned to stick around till age 57 just so that when I leave I get to keep my health insurance forever. But they offered the people who were contemplating leaving early a great deal. So I would get to keep my insurance, and rather than wait till 57 to get my pension, I can get it now at 53. So ended up being a very good deal, and I decided to take it. So not used to not working. I've always worked, and I've sent out some resumes and had a couple of interviews, so I'll see how that goes. I haven't decided if I want another job or just to be on my own, but I did interview for a position in London, which I thought would be interesting because my better half and I have talked about living overseas, and if I can take a job there, then they would sponsor us, and it would be an opportunity to do that. So she has a job where she can work from anywhere, but even though we were in a period of telework, I couldn't telework outside the United States, so that's why that seemed interesting to me. And I did look around to work someplace else. For instance, I interviewed a couple of times at the SEC, but that would not allow me to live someplace else besides the U.S., and they would severely restrict my ability to trade stocks. So I do enjoy trading stocks, and there's years that I've made more from trading stocks than I have during my J job, so it's not something I was willing to do. But I took the offer, and I got to keep my health insurance, I get the early pension, and a small amount of money as a separation payment. So I've done pretty good investing in the market. Last year I underperformed. Not ashamed to say that. I got about 16.5%, and I think the market did 25%. But over longer periods, I do pretty well. So if you go by 3 years, you would have gotten 29.2% from investing in the market, and I got 41.1. So 41.1, 41.2. So I think I'll do fine. And my strategy might shift now that I don't have a steady paycheck coming in, but as long as I can slightly outperform the index, I think I'll be fine over the long term. And as I said, I'm not used to not working, so maybe I'll get a different job. We'll see about that. So I guess since I'm free to talk about whatever the Office of Ethics and our general counsel have nothing to say about it because I'm no longer employed there, I'll start with who I am and how I got here. So law school was not really on my radar. So I grew up in New York, and my dad was a contractor, and I actually worked in construction for a long time with him. And then he was in a bad accident, and he broke his back, had 3 pins in his back, and couldn't continue his company, so he shut it down. And because he almost died in that accident, and so did I, he didn't want me to work in construction, so I started taking classes at community college, and then eventually got my associates and then bachelor's, and I had applied to grad schools, and as part of that, I took the GRE, which is the test you take for admission to grad school to sort of score you. And as a backup, I took the LSAT, which is what you would take for law school, and I did better on the LSAT than I thought I would, and I did worse on the GRE than I thought I would, and decided, hey, maybe this law thing can work out. So I went to law school, and initially I went to the place that just offered me the biggest scholarship because I wanted to just hang out my own shingle and practice for myself. But I quickly saw that certain types of law paid really well, and that was corporate and securities. So I took some classes in that, initially just because it was on the bar, but I did really well in it, and eventually took more classes in that. And when I graduated, I had graduated with honors and had 6 classes where I had the highest grade, and several of them were corporate securities, business things of that nature, even though I had never taken business classes in undergrad. So I felt like, okay, this is sort of for me and pays really well, so let me do that. And I didn't get the job offer that I want, so then I came to DC for a year and I did an LLM, which is a Master of Laws in Securities and Financial Regulation at Georgetown. And after that, I got an offer at a firm here in DC, which I really liked. And it was really nice, but it was very stressful. So I had been hired to do securities law, and it was right after the tech crash of 2000. So all the IPOs and stuff that I was hired to do evaporated, and they moved me into the group that did mergers and acquisitions, and that was stressful because the hours were very erratic, and so you're responsible for kind of 2,000 hours. But sometimes if I was working on a deal closing, I might work till 2 a.m. in the morning and then have to be back in the office at 7 a.m. And then after the closing, you're billing 2 or 3 hours a week after that. A day after that. But, you're sort of responsible for the same thing. So it was very stressful. And then I ended up applying for and getting a job at the CFTC, which is one of the financial regulators that you've never heard of. It's kind of like the SEC, but a lot smaller, and everyone there is smarter and better looking. So I did get a couple of offers for the SEC through the years, but I never decided to switch. I just decided to stay where I was. And when I was in a law firm, I got to work on some interesting things. The largest merger in the world at the time, AOL Time Warner, our firm worked on that, and I got to see parts of that. And it's got a kick out of seeing your name on things in the paper that you were working on, but I really enjoyed a lot of the smaller deals more because I got to be more involved and see sort of a lot more of what was going on there, whereas in a big deal you get a small piece of a giant deal and you sort of don't see how it all fits in. So I ended up getting a job in the government, and I've been there since. I thought I'd stay there a few years and then go in-house someplace else, but I enjoyed it. The work was really interesting, and it's very challenging mentally because it's sort of the overlap of law and math, and most lawyers don't do math. If they did, they would go to med school and become doctors, but if you're okay at math and you're squeamish about blood like me, then you either become tax person or a finance person like this. So it's in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. And because I had worked on securities and I used to draft 10Ks and 10Qs and stuff like that, and now I'm working with finance, I sort of had a good grasp of that. So it was easy for me to sort of get into investing because most people who invest will not read a 10K. And since I used to draft them, it was not a heavy lift for me. So I can sort of dig deep on companies and go deeper pretty quickly and get comfortable with that. So started it, did okay. Then 2008 happened and I got burned pretty badly, and just tried to learn as much as possible and read everything. And what I figured out is, I had known enough in 2008 to do better, but it's the emotional part. So, if your portfolio is down 70%, it's hard not to take that personally. And I think my performance started getting better when I started focusing on the mental aspect, which I haven't talked about here. But there's some great books like What I Learned from Losing $1 Million or Fearless Golf. So you sort of, the mental side is the side that's harder. And Peter Lynch famously said, if you can add 8 plus 8 and come up with a number close to 16, you've got enough math knowledge to be a good investor. But the most important part is the stomach. So, so my performance has gotten better and better. And, I got to work with interesting people through the years. And when this offer came along, I had enough in not only my retirement portfolio, but my taxable portfolio that I felt like, okay, I can live on this. So maybe I'll get another job, and if I do, great. But if not, I've got enough put away that I don't need it. So I had been interviewing before they came out with the early retirement offer, and when they did, I figured, okay, well, I was going to leave for free, but if they'll pay me to leave, then that's fine too. So I think the big thing was I didn't want to leave without a job because of the health insurance situation. But as part of this early retirement offer came with you get the same health insurance package as other retirees, then decided to take it now. So that's where I am and where I came from, and I hope to have some more time to devote to these investing videos and just to sort of keep myself honest and record my thoughts contemporaneously. And it's not any investment advice I'm giving here. This I'm doing for me. So I'm not going to say like and subscribe. I don't care if you like it. Don't care if you subscribe. You do you. So this is for me. And if you like it, fine. If not, it doesn't matter. I'm enjoying retirement so far. It's snowing today, but I've gotten a lot of projects done around the house, and I'm sort of running out of projects. And I have sent out a few resumes, and I've got some interviews coming up. So maybe I'll go back to work, 'cause it's sort of tough for me to envision myself not working, even though I'm still reading and researching stocks and stuff like that. That's something that for me was a hobby, and I just sort of since I've been working from the time I was a teenager, it's sort of hard for me to shift gears and say I'm not going to do anything now, even though I don't need to. So I'll have some more stock videos that are due. I wanted to get a video on F.R.E out soon. Fairfax Financial, which it's my second biggest holding, something like that. Yeah, that might be a good one. Or Fairfax India, and some of the other ones I've been looking at. Some more videos coming soon. And this is just an update, so what's going on with me. If you have any questions, just put them below, and hope to talk to you guys soon. Bye.